Hello everyone, today I'm going to show you how to properly optimize images for the web like I've done here. You can see we are going to get a 100 out of 100 in the Lighthouse performance test and still be able to serve an image of great quality. So yeah, stick around if that sounds interesting. The example I'm showing you now is built using Astro, but what I'm going to show you is going to work with basically any framework or way of building websites. So what I'm doing now is rendering an image that's just hosted on this website. It's a static site, and if I go ahead and open Firefox, you can see what this looks like. So it renders the entire image, and after running a lighthouse check, we see that the performance is only scoring 75. Now, large parts of this is because of the improperly sized images. So we see that this image is actually 11 megabytes. That's no good. We want to optimize it. So while researching this, I actually found a very cool library called Bespoke, created by this guy named Tom. And what this small library does is image resizing for his website. And I thought, wait, I have a website and I have a lot of images, so maybe I can use this. So I actually tried it and ended up contributing with a cool feature myself, so I thought I would show you how this all works today. After cloning this project, it's a very simple node project. You can go ahead and place a couple of images in its folder, and I can actually rename this. I've just been testing something, and you can see that I have these 3 images that I would like to optimize. So all of these you can see here, 11 megs, 14, 13 megs. They shouldn't really be served on a website when they are that big. So if I go ahead and open a terminal in the project folder, I can go ahead and run index.js, give a name of a file like this, and then give an output name. So I can call this test. And I can also select a custom prefix. So we can prefix with today's date as an example. It's the 21st of August, I think. Go ahead and do that. And you can see that it's generating a bunch of different images. So if I open this back up again, you can see that the output is prefixed with our prefix, giving the name of the file, and then it has a suffix saying something about its size. An optimized version of this image being almost 3000 pixels in its width is only, it's less than a meg, so it's really great optimization here. And you can also use lower res versions. That's only 200 kilobytes. So once we got the images optimized, I'm going to show you how I go ahead and serve this on a website. So instead of hosting the images on the website itself, I actually host the images inside a DigitalOcean Spaces bucket. Now, if you are familiar with AVS, this is basically an S3 bucket. So you can see I have the bucket name. It currently has over 10,000 items because I store a lot of images there, and almost 13 gigs of stuff. I've gone ahead and created a test folder here called images, and if I now upload my generated stuff inside here, I can set them to public and hit upload, and this is going to upload the images. Now, from our coding project again, I'm going to show you 2 different components that I use to show the images. The first one being thumbnail. So what the thumbnail component does is that it takes a name, which is basically going to be the name of the file. So I can copy this, and also an alt. And what it does then is it sets the base URL, and then it appends a suffix being the 640 version. And also something super cool is that I'm using the picture HTML tag, which basically lets you set multiple image types. So the first one I set is WebP. It's basically the preferred image type for the web at the moment. And if the browser supports it, it's going to show the WebP version, which is actually a lot smaller than the JPEG version. And in case it can't show WebP, it's going to show the JPEG, so it has like a failsafe. Let's try to use this and see how it all ends up. So I'll give it a name, which was the name of the file, and I can remove the suffix here, and also an alt text, mountainside, like this. I can remove the old image, hit save, and whoops, I had some stuff here. If I now go back to the website, we can see that I'm rendering an image of a significantly lower quality. So yeah, what I'll go ahead and do here is actually just wrap something around it like a div and give this a width of, let's say, 300 pixels, and you can see this actually looks very good. So this is what I was doing for the thumbnails. And if we jump back in Chrome and do a new lighthouse test, we get 100 in performance, which is what we're after. Now, this is only rendering the thumbnail. So now I'll show you how I did it for the actual full-scale image renderings. Okay, so back in VS Code, I can show you what the full res picture components looks like. It basically looks exactly the same, except that setting the 640 width versions, I'm doing a bit more checking here. Still using the HTML picture tag, I default to using a 1280 sized JPEG, but I also do the WebP check and I render the 1280 WebP, but I can also check that if we are on a wide display, I can actually render the 1280 size. So this is done both on the JPEG here and also on the WebP above. Now, what is this going to look like? I can show you in the browser. So if I first go ahead and use this picture component, give it a name, which is going to be the same as last time, and an alt text of mountainside, like that. Save that. I can jump back in Firefox, and we can now see that this is being rendered in a great resolution. And what's super cool about this implementation is that if you're on a smaller display and load this is going to show the 1280 width version, saving you some bandwidth. And if you're on a big display like this, it's going to show you the 1280 version. So yeah, it's really great. Now, if we head back in Chrome and check out Lighthouse, we can see what the final score is going to say. So, like expected, we get a solid 100 in performance. So yeah, that's the proper way to do it. And as a finishing note, I would like to show you how I did this for my website, which included over 1,000 images, and how I optimized everything in bulk. Okay, so to optimize the images that I used for this image blog, I simply put the images straight from the camera inside of the bespoke project, and I then wrote a script called process, which basically loops through all of the files looking something like this and runs the script on each file. So if I go ahead and run the process, and also I give it a start number, so let's say I had 50 images uploaded and I want to upload from 51, I can type 51 is going to generate for the first image, second image, third image. And if I now open up, I can see that we have a date prefix and also 51, 52, and so on. So yeah, this would just be put straight into my DigitalOcean bucket, and from there, served very optimized. So yeah, hopefully this all made some sense, and I'll be sure to link to the project in the description of the video. And also, if you're interested in trying out DigitalOcean, you can go ahead and use my referral link in the description. I think you get $200 in credit, which is kind of crazy. So you can use it free for well over a year if you're interested in trying it out. And as a side note, this is just one way of doing image optimization. Now, what I really was looking for was a way to store images outside of the website, because I kind of needed to store a lot of images, and doing something like this actually made the most sense to me. But if you're only storing a couple of images on your website, this might be a bit overkill. One last thing that I would like to mention is that also storing your images somewhere else makes it super easy to set up stuff like a CDN. So if you're not familiar, a CDN basically makes it so that instead of storing your images on just one origin server, it's put around all over the world. And if you are, for example, here in Norway, you can just ask, boom, the closest server to you to get images. And because of the distance traveled, it's actually a lot faster. So yeah, hopefully this made some sense, and you got an idea on how to do image optimization for the web. Okay, thanks, bye.